Hi, this is TM News, February 12th, episode 29, and here are the latest results. Starting with the TM Masters True Talent Cup Edition 6 that was played on Friday. Once again, the max amount of people, which is 100, started the race, and in fact the server was full in a record time of 40 minutes before starting time. And after almost 2 hours of play, the only player left was tween, who defeated CMC Sand in the very last round. Also on the podium was BX3 Whisper. I'll link to the overall scoreboard for all the True Talent Cups so far, as well as VODs of this race can be found in the description below. On Saturday, the second edition of FP's weekly race happened, hosted by myself. 88 players came to start, however sadly because of some bugs, a lot of players quit the race, which was understandable, and I'm really sorry about it. Hopefully as I do more of these, there will also be less problems and more focus on the competition. Speaking of the competition though, around 40 players still finished the race, and the fastest of them all was CMC Sand, who again took a spot on the podium, and this time standing on the top. It was very close though between him and Penta Tyler Brown, and in the finish the two players were merely a few seconds apart. Also behind those two, a very close fight for third place was happening, with eventually a Soniac Pack managing to stay in front of both BX3 Shorty and Enthused Bits. Bits however didn't come out of this empty-handed, as he did manage to set the fastest lap in the race and won some planets for that. Then on Sunday we had the second cup in the ESL TMM Cup Series. As mentioned before, the top 8 players of the 3 races will qualify for a grand final, and the player who is definitely guaranteed to get there was Acer Royal, who again took first and was awarded with 100 points. Zach, who finished 4th in the first cup, took 2nd place this time, which meant that he also went up to 2nd place in total by passing Serby, who dropped down to 3rd. After these 3 players, it's still very close, with Extreme and Kronos having 40 points each, Leo with 25, and then the 3 German players Beat, John and Saffron all with 20 points, with 1 cup left to go before the grand final. The 4-hour solo dirt endurance race also took place on Sunday, with 75 players starting. The race was very close, with it mostly being dominated by the French duo of Devil and Neo in the beginning. However, after a small break, the Swedish player DuffarN was able to barely take the lead and keep that small lead all the way to the finish, being only 3 checkpoints ahead of 2nd place, which went to Devil. Neo, however, was not able to keep his 3rd place, which instead went to another French player in Boss Wanted. The full results, as well as VODs by TM Live, can be found in the description below. Ultimate F1 Racing has finished another race in their season, this time the Ceres Grand Prix. Here we saw again the same 3 players in the top, with Sammy now taking first ahead of Edster and Royboy. However, in the total standings, Edster remains in the lead with 208 points, which is 7 more than Sammy and 14 ahead of Royboy. Then in the team standings, the positions are also the same, with Marussia at first, McLaren at 2nd and Williams at 3rd. And to finish off the results, the 3D Max Dutch Supremacy tournament is now down to the quarterfinals, and the 8 players that are still in the race are Beppino from France, DuffarN from Sweden, Tyler Brown from Germany, Alonso from France, Gus from Sweden, Speed You Need from Germany, Fool from the Netherlands, and lastly Kiddos from Spain. VODs of some of the round of 16 matches are available to watch courtesy of Team Live and Draconia. Moving on to community news, movie maker shortz has started making tutorials on his YouTube channel for how to make slow motion and slow motion effects in the replay editor of the game. If you're interested in stuff like this and want to get some tips that you may not have been aware of, since the information is usually pretty hidden, then definitely check it out. You probably will learn a thing or two. And lastly, the results for best videos of the month for January has now been published over at Maniac2, where you'll find the top 10 videos of the month as voted and judged by the community. You'll also find links to other videos that didn't quite reach top 10 but are still worth watching. For upcoming events, we once again got a lot of tournaments in the near future, beginning with the ESL Canyon Cup Series finals that will take place tomorrow on Thursday starting at 8 PM CET. The 8 players that qualified to these finals after 4 weekly cups are Pack, LMB Willie, Steven Yen, Marius89, Eric, Richie, Mayo and RESULTS. They will all be divided into 2 semifinals, where top 2 from each qualifies to the grand final. Then on Saturday we have 3 events taking place, starting with FB's weekly race, which this time will be pushed to an earlier time to stay out of the way for other events. And that time will be at 5 PM CET. As usual, no registration nor practice is needed to participate in this race, as you only have to join the server before starting time, and the map used will be released about 10 minutes before going live. The reason why the weekly race is pushed back is because of the third cup in the ESL TMM Cup Series that will take place on Saturday at 7 PM CET. Now you may wonder why this one is on Saturday all of a sudden instead of Sunday, and that's because the finals will take place on the very next day. And lastly on Saturday, we also have the ESL RPG Nightcup Edition 6, which will take place 1 hour later at 8 PM CET. Mario has won the 2 previous RPG Nightcups, and it will be highly interesting to see if he can complete the hat-trick. If you want to sign up to this cup, then you'll find more information in the official announcement over at ESL. On Sunday at 10 AM CET, the next race in the Ultimate F1 racing season will happen, also known as the Ain Diab Grand Prix. More information about this race can be found at Ultimate F1 Racing's website. And as mentioned, on Sunday, the finals of the ESL TMM Cup Series will happen, starting at 7 PM CET. The best 8 players from the 3 weekly cups will battle it out for some ESL premium prizes, playing on old TM Masters tracks. Speaking of TM Masters, their Team Cup is getting closer to beginning, but you can still sign up your team until this Friday. Then the next day the groups will be released, followed by the maps on Sunday. And then 1 week after that, the first matches will take place. More information on how to sign up your team is found below. And to finish off the episode, ESL a while ago announced the ESL Canyon Country Championship. Much like the Stadium Country Championship, this will be a tournament between nations which is scheduled to start in March. However, to sign up as a captain for your nation is only possible to do until this upcoming Sunday. Also, ESL are asking for maps for this event, and that deadline is set to March 8th. In a news post over at ESL, you'll find everything you need to know. And that's all I have for this week. Again, thanks everyone for the support and for watching, and I'll see you next week.